everybody, my English honors students. I miss you guys. We are now in the middle, officially the middle or the halfway point, whatever you want to call it, of this last quarter of school. So today I want to do something a little bit different. I've been doing lessons for you in this video YouTube format, but today it's not so much a lesson as much as a recap of what's been going on, what you studied last week, and what you're going to do this week as well. So let's dive right in. We've been talking about investigative journalism, and last week I gave you a couple of reading exercises. Hopefully you enjoyed them because they're both very fascinating. They both have to do with an important subject that's still an important subject. The first article, or actually it was a portion, an excerpt from the novel, was from The Jungle. And so this author was really doing something kind of novel in a way because he was exposing truths through a narrative form. So in The Jungle, it's a novel, it's a fictitious company, and it is a fictitious main character who is going through all these difficult things. So it's about two things. It really brought to light these two subjects, these two issues were brought to light through this narrative form of a novel, through these fictional characters. Two things being working conditions in stockyards, and how uneven and unfair it was the way these people were being treated and what they were being paid, etc. And then of course it also brought to light some of the things that were taking place, or processes for food, and in this specific case for beef. So that was the first reading that you had. And then in complete opposite, you have a hard news piece, a very famous book called Fast Food Nation, which really brought to the forefront in our country what was really going on with the fast food industry, how foods were grown, how they were produced, processed, etc., to be able to impact the economy the way it is, etc. So, I mean, there's a lot involved in it. And again, of course, this is something that still is an ongoing issue today. Fast Food Nation was one of the first to really have a lot of empirical evidence and be written in a way where it really caught people off guard. They didn't know. And what that was doing and what that is doing, still currently doing to us as a nation. So that's the second piece that you read. So they both have food design, food product, food packaging, processing, and product placement. So I thought it was really interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, what I wanted to do was, since last week I gave you a lot of work, I actually had you read both pieces, compare the text, and answer questions for both of them, plus the video lesson that I gave you on investigative journalism, and this guy right here, right? Which was a lot of fun, and also your quote of the week. So that was a lot of work that you did last week. So this week, less work. This week I gave you a quote from Mr. Schlosser. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but Eric, the author of Fast Food Nation. I gave you a quote from him, which I think is really interesting. So I'm looking forward to reading your comments on that discussion post. It's a little deep. And also I gave you, instead of something to read this time, I gave you a short 6-minute video, an interview of Eric Schlosser. And I just gave you a few questions. You're gonna do a 3, 2, 1 on that video, things that you've observed about that video in comparison to his whole, or the excerpt that you read in the text. Okay, so I'm just giving you those 2 assignments and a couple of questions for this video this week, because we had a lot last week, or you had a lot to do last week. Speaking of a lot to do, the last thing I want to tell you guys is that this week on Thursday, you'll receive your progress report. You have some grades. I think you have maybe 5 or 6 grades thus far, but you'll get another 4 or 5 in the next couple of days. Between today and tomorrow, I have through Wednesday to put in those grades. As you can see, I've been very lax when it comes to turning in stuff. Guys, we're going through a lot and we have to be flexible, and this is an unprecedented time period that we're living in. So please, please, please do not ever hesitate. And those of you who've done it, you know, I get back to you right away. I'm in conversation with you through Remind or through email. So if you're having struggles with anything and you can't get an assignment done, the Schoology crashed, you can't find whatever, always just talk to me. And we're gonna get through this together, and I'm always accepting work. So even if currently you see a 0, a Z somewhere in the grade book, in the next couple of days, you can always make that up. And everything is in there in folders. So you have the opportunity to go in there and go ahead and complete your work, okay? So that we can end strong. That fourth quarter grade will not include semester exams, will not include final exams, won't include, you don't have the testing. So it'll just be strictly third quarter, fourth quarter, bringing that average together. Okay, if you have any more questions, of course, you can reach me on Remind, you can reach me via email, etc. We'll go from there. Okay, love you guys. I really miss you.
I really miss you.
And I hope you're doing well. Bye-bye.